Welcome everybody to the 4th devlog so far. Unfortunately, we don't have much to show this devlog. We're still waiting on some major revisions to the engine, but regardless, we still do have some stuff to talk about. Let's just get into it. We've been respecting the small forms for a good few characters now. But why? Well, for starters, sprites as you've seen previously barely fit their hitboxes, being more than half of the size of the big sprites. That's not something I would consider to be very small. Secondly, small forms have just been outdated for a good while. Redoing them completely allows us to modernize their animations and to make them match newer big form sprites. Plus, they kind of just look funny. That's basically all we can show for R right now, unfortunately. We're currently trying to finalize the game's progression and world layer as we're speaking, so hopefully we'll have some pretty cool things to show soon. Anyways, that's going to be it for me for this devlog. I'm going to hand it over to Nikonese now so she can tell you about what it's been like to code for this game.
So, everyone knows Boll's reputation of having horrible loading times and lag, right? It's gotten to the point where I can't even load up the latest version without my game taking 20 minutes where the game straight up glitching out. It's that bad. Ever since starting to recode, aka Boll 2, I've always been scared of the game ending up like that again, so for the past few months I've been optimizing everything about the game. And since we don't have much to show for today, why not turn this into a learning experience for new programmers who want to learn. Now, what I'm about to say, take it with a grain of salt. I'm not a professional coder, but this is just what I've learned by working on Boll 2. So first off, don't use for loops. They're almost always bad. In most cases where you're just incrementing a variable by 1 to read for a list of things, you can easily just use a repeat loop. This is way faster, might not be noticeable at first, but will severely speed up your loading times. For other for loops where it gets a bit more complicated, you can use a while loop instead. These are a bit better than for loops, but not as good as repeat loops. Just beware of accidentally making an infinite loop. But in these cases, it might not be worth it to replace them with while loops, only if you're somehow using these very excessively, which I doubt. Second, only update things when you need to. I made a huge flaw when making the Jade fill tool, you see. When I wanted to save a tile to be able to load for levels, I have to register every placed tile currently in the editor, and the system for that was really bad. It looped through the entire list, checked if each one still existed, and then deleted it if it didn't. Or if the tile changed, the list would update it. This caused it to be very slow when you would use the fill tool, because you'd be running thousands of iterations of for loops with one frame. And now I've reworked it to do basically the exact same thing. It's just more optimized. Outside of optimizing the function for registering tiles, the main way I fixed the problem was I only updated it after the fill was completed. There was no need to update it every loop iteration in the fill. I only need to do it after that. And then that heavily cuts down the amount of loops I'm doing. Don't open the same file hundreds of times a frame. When Devlog 3 released at the time, levels took 8 seconds to load. Somehow, this is still better than old engine. But why was this the case, you may ask? The skin system. Okay, so here's how it used to work in the code. Every time a sprite was loaded, it needed to load how many frames it was in the origin of the sprite. Every time we wanted to read a variable from that config, load the file for reading and then loop through the entire thing to find the string you're looking for, then close it. This is really bad. Like, okay, doing it once, no big deal. You're doing this dozens of times for dozens of sprites in a loop. I had to do something about it. So I've reworked the entire system to use a JSON format instead. Whenever a skin loads, it will parse the JSON a single time and cache that result into a variable that can be called at any time. The JSON contains an array with multiple structs, each defining all the skin options like sprite frames and sprite slots, etc. This makes it so that instead of opening the file hundreds of times, it opens once. You know how long a level takes to load now? It's instantaneous. I couldn't even get a proper timer going before it even finished loading. It's crazy efficient. Anyways, thanks for coming to my TED Talk about code optimization. We don't have much to show off for now, but we have been working on some more promo art for the game. If you've seen our Twitter or looked at the YouTube, we've also recently opened up applications for new Boll team members. We're looking for new programmers, background artists, and tile artists, and some other things. So if you want to become a Boll team member, now's your chance. Anyways, that's it for this devlog. Hopefully we should have more to show next time, as we're starting to finally pick up pace in the development. See you next devlog.